I think my wife lied about her girls' weekend. Should I be worried? Last weekend, my wife told me she was going on a girls' trip with two of her close friends. She packed her bags Friday morning, kissed me goodbye, and said they'd be at a lake cabin 2 hours away. It wasn't unusual. She's done similar trips before, and I never had a reason to doubt her. But something about this one felt different. It started with little things. She didn't post a single photo. Normally, when she's away with her friends, there are selfies, food pictures, or some random shot of them drinking wine. This time, nothing. Her texts were short too. Just having fun, or busy, we'll call later. No calls ever came though. I figured they were busy, but it still nagged at me. On Sunday night, she came home smiling like everything was normal. She hugged me, told me it was great, and went straight to take a shower. When she came out, I noticed a different perfume on her. One I don't recognize. I asked casually about the trip, and her answers were vague. We just relaxed, talked, slept in. No stories, no funny anecdotes. Just broad statements like she was reciting a script. The next day, I drove her car to work because mine was low on gas. At lunch, I dropped my phone between the seat and the console and reached down to grab it. That's when I saw it. A folded receipt wedged between the seat and the door. It was from a hotel in our city, not 2 hours away. Not at the lake cabin she told me about. This hotel is 15 minutes from our house. The receipt was dated for Saturday night. It had a charge for a king suite and breakfast for two. My heart dropped. I sat there staring at it in the parking lot for 10 minutes, convincing myself it had to be a mistake. Maybe she stopped there for some reason. Maybe it was her friends, and they met someone. But a king suite? Breakfast for two? It didn't add up. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted to be calm. That night I casually asked if she had fun with her friends. She smiled and said yes, then added she was exhausted from the drive. I asked who all went, and she named the same two friends she always mentions. I even asked if they went anywhere else, just to see if she'd slip. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "Nope, just the cabin." I felt sick. Later, when she went to bed, I checked our shared credit card statement. The hotel charge was there, along with two more charges from the same place in the past 2 months. Both were on weekends when she said she was going shopping with her friends. I don't want to believe what's obvious here. My wife and I have been married for 7 years. We've had our rough spots, but nothing like this. I keep thinking about who it could be. Someone she met recently? Or worse, someone I know? I haven't told her I found the receipt. I've been acting normal, but inside I feel like my stomach is in knots. I keep picturing her laughing with someone else, checking in under our name, lying to my face. I don't know if I should confront her now or gather more proof first. Has anyone else been through this? What's the best way to handle it? Do I bring it up right away or wait until I know for sure? I feel like my whole life is about to explode, and I don't even know if I'm ready for the answer. What would you do if you were me? Update. I went to the hotel. First off, thank you to everyone who commented on my first post. Reading through the responses made me realize two things. 1, I'm not crazy for being suspicious, and 2, I need proof before I confront her. Several people said I should visit the hotel where the receipt came from, so that's exactly what I did. I drove there during my lunch break yesterday. It felt surreal pulling into that parking lot, knowing my wife was supposedly here 2 nights ago. I walked inside, pretending to be calm, but my heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. At the front desk, I asked if I could get a copy of a receipt for my records, acting like I was the one who booked it. The clerk looked it up right away and confirmed it. Saturday night, 1 king suite. She even read the last name out loud. Mine. It was booked under our last name, and the signature at checkout was my wife's. I asked if anyone else had checked in with her. The clerk hesitated, then said she wasn't allowed to disclose personal information about other guests. I didn't push it, but then she said, almost offhandedly, she seemed happy though. Very nice couple. That word, couple. It hit me like a brick. I left before I said something stupid. Sitting in my car, I just stared at the steering wheel for what felt like an hour. I didn't want to believe it, but it's undeniable now. She lied to my face. And not just once. I checked our credit card again, and every one of those hotel charges lines up perfectly with weekends where she claimed she was out with friends. I decided to call her friend Emily, one of the 2 people she always says she's with. I played dumb, just asked how their last girls' weekend went. There was a pause, then Emily said, "Oh, it was great." Her tone was off. I asked where they stayed, and she said, "At the cabin, like always." When I pressed a little more, she stumbled over details, said they were mostly just hanging out, and quickly changed the subject. It felt rehearsed, like she was covering. Later that night, I sat on the couch with my wife watching TV while she scrolled through her phone like nothing was wrong. I kept glancing at her, wondering who she really was texting. The guilt on her face wasn't obvious, but I saw it in small things. The way she turned her phone slightly away from me. The way she smiled down at the screen but didn't laugh. This morning, I drove by that hotel again before work. I didn't even go in, I just parked across the street and watched. I told myself it was stupid, that she wouldn't be there. But then I saw a car pull out of the lot that made my blood run cold. It was my best friend's car. We've known each other since college. He's been over to our house countless times. Cookouts, birthdays, holidays. He's always been around. I sat there frozen, gripping the wheel so tight my hands hurt. I followed his car for a few blocks until I couldn't take it anymore and pulled over. I don't know what to do next. Confronting her without proof feels risky. If I say something now, she'll deny it, spin it around on me. But if I wait, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. Part of me wants to confront him instead. Part of me wants to show up at that hotel next weekend and catch them together. I can't eat. I can barely think. I feel like I'm living in someone else's life. What's the next step? Do I call him? Do I trap them? I need to be sure before I blow everything up. Second update. I have proof. I couldn't take it anymore. After seeing my best friend's car at that hotel, I knew I needed concrete evidence before confronting either of them. I spent the past few days pretending everything was normal. I smiled, kissed my wife goodbye in the mornings, made small talk at dinner. Inside, I felt like I was holding my breath constantly. I decided to follow her. Yesterday, she told me she was going shopping with Emily again. I nodded and told her to have fun. As soon as she left, I grabbed my keys and stayed far enough behind her car to not be noticed. She didn't go shopping. She drove straight to that same hotel. I parked a few lots over and waited. 10 minutes later, my best friend's car pulled in. I watched him get out, look around like he was checking if anyone was watching, and head straight inside. My hands were shaking so bad I had to steady them on the steering wheel. I wanted to storm in right then, but I didn't. Instead, I pulled out my phone and started recording. I got clear footage of her car in the lot, his car parked next to it, and both of them walking into the hotel. They didn't hold hands, but the way they moved together, close and casual, told me everything I needed to know. I sat there for over an hour. When they finally came back out, I stayed low in my seat and kept recording. They walked side by side, laughing. She touched his arm before they split into their separate cars. I felt sick watching it. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't innocent. When I got home, she came in a few hours later holding shopping bags like she'd been at the mall. She kissed me on the cheek like nothing happened. I could still smell that perfume I didn't recognize. I didn't say a word. That night, I messaged Emily again. I told her I knew. She didn't deny it. She just said, "I'm sorry. I didn't want to be involved." I asked how long it's been happening. She didn't answer. I think that hurt almost as much as seeing them. Knowing my wife's friend covered for her, lied to my face when I called. I don't know who else knew. Maybe everyone but me. Today I met with a lawyer. I showed him the footage and explained what I'd found. He told me it was more than enough to proceed. He suggested I don't confront her until everything is in motion legally. It feels surreal even typing that. A week ago I thought I was happily married. Now I'm talking to a lawyer about divorce. I keep thinking about how many times this must have happened. All those girls' weekends and shopping trips. All the nights I stayed home while she was out with him. The worst part is that it's my best friend. Someone I trusted completely. Someone I let into our home. I haven't confronted either of them yet. I want to. Every time I look at her, I feel rage boiling up inside me. But the lawyer's advice is clear. Wait until everything is filed. Catch them off guard. Protect yourself. So I'm waiting. I have my proof. The papers will be ready in a few days. And when I hand them to her, she won't be able to deny any of it. I'll update after it happens. Part of me is terrified. Part of me feels calm for the first time in days. This will be over soon, one way or another. Final update, it's over. I waited until everything was ready. The papers were signed and sitting in an envelope on the kitchen counter. I planned it so she wouldn't see it coming. When she came home last night, smiling like always, I told her we needed to talk. She froze. I could see it in her face. Maybe she sensed something was off, Or maybe deep down she already knew I had found out. She sat down at the table and asked what was wrong. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I slid the envelope across the table and told her to open it. Her hands trembled as she unfolded the papers. She looked at them for a few seconds before whispering, "What is this?" I told her I knew everything. I mentioned the hotel, the receipts, the credit card charges, Emily's slip, and then I pulled out my phone and showed her the video of her walking into the hotel with him. She went pale. At first, she tried to deny it, said it wasn't what it looked like. But when I stayed quiet, she broke down. She admitted it. She said it started months ago. She said it was a mistake that kept happening because she didn't know how to stop. I asked why it had to be him, my best friend. She didn't answer. She just cried and said she never meant to hurt me. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. If she didn't want to hurt me, she wouldn't have done it over and over again. I told her it was over. No more excuses, no more chances. I handed her the papers and told her to sign them when she was ready. Then I asked her to leave. She begged to talk, but I couldn't listen anymore. After she left, I called my best friend. He didn't answer at first. When he finally did, I didn't give him a chance to speak. I told him I knew, and I never wanted to see him again. He tried to apologize, but I hung up. I blocked his number. This morning, I woke up alone in a quiet house. It feels strange, but there's relief too. The weight is gone. The lies are over. The man who I thought was my friend is gone, and the woman who pretended to love me while sneaking around behind my back is out of my life. I filed everything officially today. My lawyer said it's straightforward given the evidence. I'll keep the house. She can keep her guilt. I don't know what comes next. Maybe I'll take a trip somewhere new. Maybe I'll just sit in this silence for a while and remember what it's like to breathe without second-guessing everything. If you're reading this and you feel that gnawing suspicion in your gut, listen to it. I wanted to believe I was wrong. I wanted to believe my marriage was fine, but ignoring the signs only made the fall harder. I'm not angry anymore. Not at her. Not even at him. Just done. And honestly, that feels better than anything I've felt in weeks. It's over. Finally.